Okay, the greeter has already sent the customer to the advisor so they can start working on the paperwork to get the car started, the services needed. As a greeter, going to check all the different body panels for scratches, dents, dings, any kind of road hazard damage, particularly looking at the wheels to see the curb rash on the wheels, and checking the lighting, checking the windshield or glass for cracks, and taking photos of any damage that they see so that can also be sent to the advisor so they can let the customer know.
Every multi-point really begins when you pull the car into the bay. We're checking for any type of play in the steering, checking the dash for any warning indicators. We're also going to be checking the headlights, marker lights, and any of the auxiliary lighting for any type of bulbs out or defects. At this point, we're going to open the hood and continue our multi-point inspection under the hood. We're going to check under the hood for the drive belts, make sure that they're intact. We're going to check the coolant level, the power steering level. Also check to see if there's any rodent damage or debris under the hood that we need to advise the customer about. At this point is a good time to check the spare tire to make sure it has the right air pressure in it if it's equipped, and also set your lift points so we can raise the car up to the mid-level height. Once we're at the mid-level height, we're going to want to check the tread depth of the tires, the thickness of the brakes, check your suspension components for any type of play or looseness, check your shocks for any leaks that may be present, and do a full walk around of the car looking for any type of body damage, lens damage to the tail lights, to the fog lights, to the headlights, anything that you need to mention or notate and advise the customer on proper repairs. Once we're done with that, we want to raise the car to full height and check the undercarriage of the car for any other defects.
Now that we have the vehicle raised up all the way, we want to make sure that we're checking each of the components under there, suspension components, the brake components, including the hoses to the calipers and the wear sensors that may be on the pads. And on the suspension, you want to make sure you're looking at the shocks to see if they're leaking. You want to look at the different components on bushings and such to make sure they're not rusted or torn or worn somehow. We gave it a shake in the mid-level and to feel for any free play. Then we're going to also be looking at the engine compartment underneath to look for oil leaks, coolant leaks, power steering leaks, any kind of leaking fluid you have, and sometimes the leaking fluid can leak onto another component and would cause like hoses to swell, that type of thing. So we'll be looking for that. You want to check the exhaust system for leaks, make sure the mounts are good for each of the parts of the exhaust system, all the way back to the muffler. And you want to be checking like transmission, looking at if you have linkages to make sure they're in good position and the transmission's not leaking. Also look at the drive shaft and any couplings that go with that to the differential. And when you're back at the differential, make sure that's not leaking. And check the rear suspension and the brakes back there too, just like you did in the front. And also making sure the exhaust is secured all the way back out past the bumper. And with all these visual inspections, you need to write that down on your RO so that you can pass on the information to your service advisor so they can upsell the proper work that needs to be done to the vehicle.